Okay, so there is a lot of questions going on, right? Now, listen, it's going to get easier, I promise. Today is hard because you've never seen it. Okay? If you're in your comfort zone all the time, you're never going to grow. Sometimes we have to get out of our comfort zone to grow as people. Okay? So, right now, the goal is 24. You can only use each number once, but you can use addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division to get those four numbers to equal 24. Okay? So now, where's my marker? There it is. Yay! So, watch what we do here. I'll do a different color. Let's go red. So in this one, I solved this one as an example. So watch what I'm going to do. I used 2 plus 2 and got 4. This is now, so I'm done with this 2, I'm done with this 2. I'm now using 4. Okay? Then I said, this 8 minus the 4 that I just got is now what? 4. So that 4 is now this 4. 4 multiplied by 6 is 24. Okay? You're like, Mr. H, it doesn't make sense yet. Math, and I'll go into this, ties in directly with the beginning of the Bible. I promise you this, okay? So you kind of just watch. So we have 4 numbers here. Okay? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. Can somebody multiply 2 numbers to get me to 20? Go ahead.
5 times 4.
Okay, so here we go. I'm taking this 5 and this 4. And I'm going to say 5 multiplied by 4 equals 20. Now notice what I did. It's not an x. If you're using x for multiplication, stop. What is x? X is a what?
A variable.
A variable, okay? Variables are something that takes the place of an unknown value. We don't want to use an x. So I've now used 5 and 4. I've gotten to 20. The goal is to get to 24. I saw a light bulb. I saw a light bulb. Go ahead.
You add 2 plus 2 and you get 24.
Wait, 2 plus 2 is what?
4.
2 plus 2 is 4. So wait a minute. Look what I have now. I've got this is 20. This is 4. Now what? Add what?
20 and 4.
And that gives me 24. Okay? I like to use these because it's basic arithmetic, but it makes you start to think about different ways of doing it. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and copy it down. If you watched the videos last night, wonderful. If not, I've got a little help for you. Okay, so when I first took this job, I was actually in the interviews, and they said, okay, Nick, how are you going to bring your faith into the mathematics classroom? And I looked and I said, I don't know. I said, that's a great answer. He goes, you'll figure it out. So I prayed a lot. I prayed to God. I said, hey, I need help. I can't do this on my own. I need help. And I had a calling to go back and just start from the beginning of the Bible and read Genesis. God was telling me, hey, listen, you're starting new. That's where I started. Read Genesis. And I did. So I'm going to read chapter 1, verses 1 and 2 for you. It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and empty, and darkness covered the deep waters. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the surface of the waters. God started with nothing. And all of a sudden, we have so many beautiful structures, people, animals, everything he made came from nothing. There was chaos, and then there was order. That is math. Math is like God's law language, because even in ancient times, there are buildings that have survived for thousands of years. They didn't build them without math. There's something called the golden ratio, which actually defines people. Like the best looking, and I'm putting in quotes, the best looking people fit this certain stereotype, which is called a golden ratio, which is all math. If you look at a pine cone, does everyone know what a pine cone is? Yeah? If you count the little things on a pine cone, it follows a mathematical pattern called the Fibonacci sequence. Everything is tied to math. It is beautiful. It is order. I want to show you the beauty that's with math. Okay? I'm going to try to do my best. So, let me ask the most important question. You ready? How was the first day? Really, how was your first day? Yeah? This was your first day at school, so how was it?
It was good.
Yeah? Obviously you had your cousin and you followed her around like a little puppy dog. We saw that. Okay, good. But you had a good first day.
Yeah.
Did anybody have just a day that you're like, Mr. H, you stink. You were my worst part of your day. Was I the worst part of anybody's day? And that'd be all right.
No.
Riley, are you sure?
Yeah.
Because you haven't smiled once yet. There's a smile.
Sorry.
You're like, it's math. I hate math. I just had lunch. I want to go back to nap time. Hey, I feel the same way. Okay, so did anybody watch the videos and take notes? Great. Okay, I know that some of you had them blocked. I know. Again, I am working on it with tech, so hopefully this video is there.
There's an X when you click on the answer part. There's an X, you gotta click that really fast. And then it doesn't let you walk.
It's like a wasp.
Okay, here we go. So, I'm going to be looking for this. I get confused very easily. So, here's my water.
I like your cup.
Hmm?
Make sure
Mhm.
I work for blind
Oh,
people.
yeah.
You can describe them.
Okay, so we were talking about fractions. Everybody has paper in front of them. So, these are guide notes today. You should be, if I'm putting it on the board, you should be putting it down somewhere. Everybody with me? Okay. What's a fraction? It doesn't say there. What's a fraction? Or it's not even going to be in your notes. What is a fraction?
Two numbers on top of each other.
Okay, give me an example.
3 and 4.
Okay, 3 and 4. So a number on top of another number, right? Okay. 3 is on top of 4.
What the
Is that no? That's what you said. Is that what you meant?
No.
Okay, what do you mean?
Like the line in between.
What is that line?
The separator.
Yeah, okay, so you're saying, and I'm going to draw it, something like this.
Yeah.
What does that line mean? What mathematical operation?
Division.
Oh. A fraction is a division problem. In essence, every problem that we have that's a fraction is a division problem. Now listen, you have these sheets, okay? Maybe right up here with fractions you put a division problem. Okay, there's no blank for it, but maybe you just put a little dash, or you put it in your note, wherever you feel comfortable, that's fine. So, a fraction is a division problem. It's talking about parts divided by a whole. Can we see that? Look at that over here. Barely. Okay. I don't like getting that close to the camera. It just shows me how old I am and it makes me feel sad. I've got a lot of gray, that's why I shave usually, and right now, I feel old, guys. Okay, so parts divided by whole. Well, what do we mean? Let's try something like this. So I'm going to put an example. Where do you think you're going to put examples if you're copying it down on that sheet? Either in your notes or at the bottom of that sheet that I gave you. Okay? Who could scarf down some pizza? Like, no, don't all be these little girls like, no, I'm not going to scarf down pizza. Who all could be like, man, there's a pizza in front of me. I can probably eat a couple slices of pizza. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Most of us are like, yeah, we forget being ladylike, okay? We could eat some pizza, right? So, here we go.
Well, it depends where it's from.
Oh,
That's true.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
I like all pizza dough pretty much.
how could I write this fraction? What are the parts versus what's the whole? And let's go with the shaded as the parts. Wait. Let's get some more hands. Come on. Go ahead. Marissa. No. Maris.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Maris. Go
2
ahead.
eighths.
Huh?
2 eighths.
2/8. This is 2 of the parts divided by the other 8, which is the whole portion of that pizza. Everybody with me? So this is something, if I put it on the board, you probably want to have it in your notes somewhere. Because, maybe I didn't tell you yesterday, but I won't say it on camera. What do you get to use for every test and quiz?
Notes.
Your notes in your book. Every test, every quiz. So, the better your notes are, the more you're watching those videos, the easier it's going to be on those tests and quizzes. Okay? 2/8 is really 2 divided by 8. So here's a question for you. Is this as simplified as it can get? Is this as small as it can get? I'm seeing some shaking heads. Why? What can we do?
You can shade it.
No, go ahead.
You can shade in more pieces to make it bigger.
Okay, I could shade more pieces, but let's just talk about this fraction here. What could I do to simplify it? Divide, Isabel.
2, they both go into 2.
Oh, they're even. 2's even, 8's even, which means they are multiples of 2. So a divisibility rule, divisibility meaning divide, if both are even, we can divide them by 2. So I'm going to divide the parts by 2 and the whole by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. This and this. Okay, now watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to write the word equivalent. And we're going to talk about equivalent a lot. Does anybody know what equivalent means? And if you say it's equal, it's not. Equivalent doesn't mean equal, which is something that a lot of math teachers say, and I'm just like, no. So, anybody have a calculator? If you have a calculator, get your calculator out. Does anybody need a calculator? Yes? Okay. That's fine. Okay, so what I want you to do in your calculator, do 2 divided by 8 and tell me what you get. Raise your hands for me. 2 divided by 8. Polly.
0.25.
0.25, which is 25 hundredths. Because remember, these are division problems. So 2/8 is 25 hundredths. Do 1 divided by 4.
0.25.
How would I say it better?
25 hundredths.
25 hundredths. Go ahead, no, try it again.
2500.
25 hundredths. 2 decimal places is hundredths. So it's 25 hundredths. They have the same value. So equivalent means they have the same value but look different. Okay, equivalent, listen again, has the same value but looks different. We will do a lot with equivalent fractions. So now let's go back up to the top of that paper. So there are better words than parts divided by whole. What else can we use? There's an N word and a D word. So if you watch the notes, what's the top called? The numerator. So that is the numerator. And what do we call the bottom number? Somebody else, come on. What do we call the bottom number? Come on, where's this group? Where's this group? What starts with D? The what? Denominator. Why are you laughing at me? I have something in my teeth. No?
No.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so denominator. And yes, I'm coming around, I'm looking at your guys' notes because I'm nosy and I want to make sure that you guys are doing a good job. Sorry. Denominator. Okay? Everybody good?
See.
Muy bien. Do you really want me to start speaking in Spanish though?
No.
Okay. That'd have been a funny joke if I couldn't. But, ruh-roh. So we have the numerator, we have the denominator. We are today talking about adding and subtracting fractions. And there is one major rule that needs to happen. Okay? To add or subtract. You have a blank. It says blank must be the same. When we're adding or subtracting, what has to be the same?
Denominator.
Absolutely. To add or subtract, the denominator must be the same. It does not matter. The denominator must be the same. If the denominator is not the same, we got problems. Okay, more problems than we probably already have. Okay? I can't sing, but I love to sing. I feel closest to God when I'm worshiping. Honestly, that's Like I'll work out, I will be doing a hard workout, dripping sweat, and I'll be listening. We got a lot of time. I know you can keep looking at the clock though. It's fine. Yeah, I caught you. It's all right. Oh my gosh, I'm so bored already, Mr. H. So here's an example, which means probably on the bottom of that page. So we've got 4/7 plus 5/7. Did you raise your hand? Why are you guys raising your hand? We haven't done anything yet. Wait a minute. I know. Okay. So, my first question, because I ask a lot of questions. My first question, Holly, is the denominator, or are the denominators the same?
Yes.
They're both what?
7.
They're both 7. If the denominators are the same, you don't have to worry about the denominators. You put a fraction bar in that 7. Plain and simple, we're good. Okay? What do we have to worry about?
Close
The what?
whatever that is.
Huh?
What, you put your hand up.
Yeah, well, the top, because it's gonna
Not
be
top,
the numerator.
the numerators. We only need to add or subtract the numerators. 4 plus 5 is
9.
9. My fraction is 9/7. And I had somebody in my second hour go, Mr. H, wait a minute. That's an improper fraction. Should I change it to a mixed number? No. In algebra, I want them as improper fractions. We do not want mixed numbers.
Oh, I don't
Okay.
know.
We want improper fractions.
Right.
But we can't simplify this. 9 divided by 7 can't be simplified, so we're good there. Okay, let's try another one. You might need a calculator. Let's go 4/7. No, not 7. Let's go 4/12. Let's go -4/12 minus 5/12. Okay, so now we're subtracting. You might need your calculator, and that's all right. Okay, so the first question I ask, are my denominators the same? Riley, are the denominators the same? What are they?
12.
12, which means my answer is going to have a denominator of 12. Okay, so far so good. So what two numbers, Riley, am I going to subtract?
5 and 4.
Yes and no. What type of 4 is it?
Negative.
Oh, so it's -4 minus 5. That sign goes with the numerator. Okay, when we're adding and subtracting, if it's a negative, keep it with the numerator. So it's -4 minus 5. Go ahead, Isabel. Or no, I'm sorry. Not Isabel. Help me. Marissa. There it is.
-9.
-9. Okay. So far, so good. Now, we have a problem though. Can we simplify this? Is there a number that goes into both the numerator and denominator?
2.
So 2 would go if they're both even. 12 is an even number.
Oh.
Is 9 even? No, 9's odd. So let's try, so what's the next number? 3. Here's how we can do this. We can skip count. Watch this, you ready? 3, 6, 9, there's a number. Then what comes after 9? First, 12. Oh, wait a minute. So if I'm counting by 3s, 9 and 12 are both multiples of 3. So what can I divide by? 3. I divide both the numerator and the denominator by 3. -9 divided by 3 is -3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So -4/12 minus 5/12 is -3/4. But wait a minute, Mr. H. Are these what? What type of fractions are those?
Equivalent.
Equivalent. Because when we simplify, they're equivalent. They have the same value, but they look different. Okay? Questions so far? So, when we are adding or subtracting, the denominator must be the same. Okay, so let's try this. Here we go. Example 3. 4 minus 1/2. Not real. 4 minus 1/2. Is the denominator the same? Is there a denominator in both? What do you think?
No, but you should put 4 over 1.
Very good. So this doesn't have a denominator. Any whole number, any integer, if there's no denominator, the denominator will always be 1. I'll say it again. If it's an integer, okay, like our counting numbers and their opposites, if it doesn't have a denominator, we can make one. It's 1. Okay, so this is really 4 divided by 1 minus 1/2. So again, I ask, are the denominators the same? No. So I'm going to bring my fractions down. This one's pretty easy. Okay? To get the denominators the same, we multiply by the opposite denominator. So 4 divided by 1, what's the opposite denominator? What are my denominators? Let's start with that. Which two numbers?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. What's the opposite denominator from 1?
4.
2. The other denominator is 2. So I multiply this whole fraction by 2, both the numerator and denominator. That gives me 8/2. What do I have to multiply this one by?
1.
1, which is just 1/2. So now I have 8/2 minus 1/2. Are my denominators the same?
Yes.
So the denominator is 2. Now I'm just doing 8 minus 1, which is 7/2. We're going to do one more like that. What time does this class end? Because I want to make sure you have plenty of time for your homework. 1:50. We're good. We're right on track. Okay. Well played. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see that second thing where it says if blank are different? If what's different? If the denominators are different, get the what the same? The denominators. Both of those are denominators. Because we have something like this. You ready? 1/2 minus 1/3. Let's add them. Let's do something different. 1/2 plus 1/3. That's just my heart. Right? I'm such a cold person. You can tell, right?
No.
Okay, here we go. Are my denominators the same? No, the denominators are not the same. Okay? Denominators aren't the same. So we come to the side, we rewrite them. Okay, here we go. What am I going to multiply 1/2 by?
2.
3.
What's the other denominator?
1. 3.
So here's the denominator of 2. The other denominator is 3. So we multiply it by 3, which gives me 3/6. What do we multiply this one by, Maris?
Wait, what?
Okay, so listen, I need you to pay attention.
I
a
know,
little
I
bit more.
was copying notes.
Okay, it's all right. So Maris, here's what I'm asking. What do I need to multiply this fraction by so that it has the same denominator? We took 1/2 and multiplied it by 3, which was the other denominator. So if this denominator is 3, what do we have to multiply this one by?
2.
By 2, very good. Which is 2/6. So this is 3/6. This is 2/6. We're still adding. Denominators are the same now. Huzzah! That sounded really weird, didn't it? Huzzah! Like my voice was, okay, I'm done. Then we take care of the numerators. 3 plus 2 is 5. What questions do we have? Okay. You are in groups for a reason. I want you to work together. I want you to ask for help. Listen, I know the math. And I can come over and I can help you and I want to help you. But sometimes your friends can say it in a different way than I can that might make more sense. So, ask me for help. But also, ask your friends. That's why we're in this group. I want to work together. I told you from day 1, which was yesterday, we are a family. All 6 of you are now my daughters. You are my kids forever and ever and ever. Families are a little messy sometimes. You don't always get along, which is all right. But we're still going to love each other. So help each other out. Everybody with me? So I'm going to give you this worksheet. The homework for tomorrow, and you can do it, listen, directly on this worksheet, You can do it in your notebook. I don't care where you put your answers, but listen, you need to show work. When it's something like this, pause, just wait. When it has like denominators, show me the arrow that you're adding, okay? We are doing numbers 1 through 8. You have 12 minutes to do numbers 1 through 8. Don't rush. Ask for help. If you get done, I'd also like you to try number 11 and number 15. Now, how does homework work? Okay? And can I use my homework on my quizzes and tests? Yes. Okay? If you do it and you have something, use it. That's the real world, y'all. Okay? So we're doing numbers 1 through 8 on this worksheet. It is due tomorrow. Are there any questions? Okay, kiddos. Love y'all. Get started.